Okay, so this episode is different than the last one and the ones before it because we're all in the same room together.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've got
I was in a different state last time, and we didn't bring it up because that's just not what we do here at GenreBot.
Nope.
Right, so now if somebody says something particularly stupid, we can actually punch each other in the face. I think that adds a good dynamic to what we're doing here.
Just like in my favorite movie of all time, Kangaroo Jack.
I've also got a new microphone which I can use to hurt you guys with in person.
Oh no.
And everyone will hear it
My punching sounds
super
have gotten
clearly.
better.
All
God
right.
damn it, me and Victor talked over each other.
That's fine. It's okay in this
I thought we
circumstances.
weren't going to do that this time because we were all in the same room, but it turns out we're just jerks to each other
That's
all the
okay,
time.
because if you do it again, I'll just punch you in the face. That's what's good about this format.
Okay.
If you didn't know that we talk over each other in person, then you haven't
Well, I
been
suppose
here.
that's a good point.
All right. Welcome to GenreBots, the group writing machine. I'm Adam, your host.
I'm Vic, your not host, but other awesome member of the show.
See, I was hoping you would say something that rhymed with host. That would be funny, but
Ghost?
instead you went with something that was not funny.
Well, we can't
And
both be
this
ghosts.
is...
I'm Andrew, your ghost.
All right.
Could have been better. Could have been better.
Speaking of Andrew, hey, it's your topic this week.
It is my topic this week.
Yeah.
Victor, is it my topic this week?
It is your topic this week.
It is my topic this week.
Yeah, well, we've all been waiting anxiously to hear what you have constructed.
Thanks for putting the pressure on.
Yeah, no
Great.
problem.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell us about inspirational animal film.
That was too excited. Like, you're at 12 right now, I need you to take it to like a
See,
7.
normally you guys can't see all the fun motions I make. Like, I'm Adam.
It's very distracting.
Ha!
We're going to keep everything at least around an 8 or a 9.
And we're not going to talk
minimum.
over each other.
Okay. Well, this is the first time we're all in the same room together. This is also the first podcast I'm recording with my pants on. So,
That's good. Andrew, tell us about your genre, about inspirational movies that involve bringing an animal into your home.
Right, well, see, there's this particular subgenre of family movie that's built around the concept of, like, some child keeping, like, a dangerous animal and maybe raising it from animal babyhood to animal adulthood. I think Racing Stripes fits this mold. Like, it's just built around that trope. Like,
yeah,
Racing
there's
Stripes-
also a new one came out recently, Max. I didn't see it. I only saw a poster. I'm like, oh, dog. There's one of those.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
And
Well,
there's
well,
those
that's
ones
it.
about the dolphin.
Free Willy.
Dolphin Tail?
No, well, okay, Free Willy.
Dolphin
yeah,
Tail,
no,
yeah.
It's not
it was
exactly like it because he
Dolphin
doesn't raise it
Tales.
himself.
Okay, it's close
Yeah.
though.
Yeah.
We're in the same.
It's
a
in the same
neighboring genre,
wheelhouse.
but
Yeah.
we're focusing
Did
on.
you say same whale house?
I said same wheelhouse.
Oh, that would've been so good.
Whalehouse does actually fit into what we're saying much better.
Oh my gosh.
Whalehouse
Speaking
is-
of that, there's the water horse is another one.
Yeah, there you
That's
go.
a very clear-cut example, and that's another thing I wanted to bring up. Like, these are always very dangerous animals.
Life of Pi.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Life of Pi. There's one like about Christian the lion, which is based on a true story.
Oh, with Haley Joel Osment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but-
Something about lions.
Yeah, but no, it's always like bringing up. It's always like raising a very dangerous animal that you really shouldn't have in your house. I brought this up because A, it's I like animals, and B, I wanted to really go into sort of an obscure genre to show that we can do anything.
We're
here at Genre
versatile.
Bot. Yeah. Also, it's a family film. We're all together.
Yeah,
We're-
family.
Yeah.
Family!
Family.
That's a thing that we don't bring up very much on this show.
We've never brought it up, actually.
We brought it up once on the pilot.
I edited it out. It didn't.
We brought it up once now for the first time ever.
Yes,
Hey.
we are all related.
We're cousins. There you go.
Yeah.
Exposition over.
First
Let's
cousins.
keep going.
Okay,
There
so
goes Adam's plans to marry Victor's rabbit.
on to characters. So I think because we've done it 3 in a row, every time the order is different. Who goes first this one? Is it Andrew went first last? Victor, I believe it's your turn to go first.
Oh, am I going first this
Yep.
time?
Yes, I'm sorry, but those are the rules that we made up by
Okay.
circumstance.
All right. That's all right because I
right.
do have it ready to go.
All right, who's your character?
My character's name is Benedict Snare. And
That's a pretty killer last name.
yeah.
Oh, wait till you hear my last name.
Well,
I'm not sure about this.
Well, Benedict is actually like I think of like Most Dangerous Game and like Lost World Jurassic Park.
Okay.
Like there's that guy like he has hunted every exotic animal. Like he's like the ultimate poacher. You know, like he to the point of boredom.
Mhm.
You know, where it's like he kind of like just was on the top of his game. But
also Kraven from Spider-Man comics.
yeah,
yes,
there you go.
yes. But anyway, so then one day, he was in the middle of his, hunting, poaching thing, and his beloved wife, and her name is, let's say,
Calypso. That's a Craven joke.
Let's call her.
I didn't even pick up on that.
Let's call her Laura, just because it's
Alright,
a
cool.
pretty decent. All right, so Laura ends
Adam,
up being.
Wait, Victor, hold on. Adam's just spelled Laura, Lora.
That's a Laura.
That's fine. That works.
It's not how you spell Laura, Adam.
It's fine with me.
Wrong.
All right,
It's wrong
so-
what you've done.
Okay.
Stop looking at my notes.
So,
Close your eyes.
so Laura. This is why we don't always record together.
Don't look at
All
the
right,
arc.
so Laura one day ends up being killed by whatever animal this film ends up including.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I intentionally made
Species,
it like
got it.
whatever animal is the main animal of this story. That animal killed Benedict's wife.
All right, so
But as much as he thinks like, well, I'm the most badass, exotic animal killer, like I'm gonna go mess them up. Her dying wish was, I want you to hang up your lifestyle of exotic animal poaching. I want you to stop.
wow.
Okay, so he does it. He honors her wish. Okay, and he decides to take his life into a different direction, and ends up, just kind of doing whatever. And he ends up kind of opening up his own little business, and it's a video rental store. And it does okay for a while, until, eventually times change and we get things like, like streaming services like Netflix and Amazon Prime.
Probably not a fan of that.
And Redbox and things like that. And eventually the movie rental industry just completely nosedives. Like it's just going under.
Sure.
It
And,
sounds like you have a certain. It sounds like you're working towards like a name of a movie, like a big punchline at the end. Like you have it like planned out.
I'm on the edge of my sheets. I'm on the edge of my seat. Don't interrupt him.
So he's
How
so
the
so he tried one livelihood, it didn't work out. Now he goes into this other one, and now it's taken a nosedive. And then, whatever events of this movie are taking place, as soon as he notices that this exotic animal is around and is kind of like in his living space or in his world, he
Part of his world.
he finds himself like, going, like, reverting back to his former self, and he decides, you know what, maybe I need to get back into what I was, and so basically, his whole thing is going to be, he wants to make money off of this animal the way he used to. So that's his driving motivation in this story, is that he wants to kill it.
Got it.
Because he thinks that will help bring his life back to a good place, and that it'll help him move on and
I got you.
and all that stuff, and that's it. That's basically
Nice.
That's
Okay,
my
I want to go next because I have a very compatible character.
Oh, that's good because it's actually my turn to go last,
Okay, good.
or is it second to last?
I really don't think that matters that much.
Fair enough. Go ahead, Andrew.
All right, so I also made an antagonist character, and when
Oh
Victor,
my God.
when Victor
Oh,
said
no.
the name, when Victor said the name Benedict Snare, I was like, oh no, that's going to be a bad guy. What am I going to do?
Yeah.
But no. But this
okay.
actually works. His name is Reverend Noah Palmer.
Reverend Noah Paul. That's a
Yeah.
neat name.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's.
that's interesting.
I see that you're like, oh, Dan Wolf Noah. Got it.
Yep, that was it. That was my entire thing.
All right, let's hear it. What's his story?
All right, so Reverend Noah Palmer, his dad was killed by the animal in question.
Okay, really?
Yes.
Okay, this is gonna be some ferocious animal or not for laughs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is gonna be like ridiculous.
Well, anyway, he was I actually don't have my write-up, but I'm trying to remember it.
All right, no problem.
He is the reverend of this town, and he kind of rules it with an inexplicable amount of power, like Footloose.
Okay.
And he will be damned. And I can say that on a non-explicit podcast because I'm being literally. He will be damned if he is gonna let X animal in his town. And while he's at it, no dancing.
Okay, nice. All right.
So what I'm thinking here is, having heard Victor's, he could be like the guy who convinces Benedict to go over the edge.
Yeah,
That fits.
that could-
Which is crazy
He
because
can
he'd be
hire
like
him.
he'd be like the devil on his shoulder, but he's a priest.
He brings him out of retirement.
Yeah, I didn't want to get too complicated with the antagonists in what would probably be a children's film,
yeah. So
but that
I-
works well.
I gotcha. All right. Just side note here, guys. I try to avoid like banging on the table at all. I'm not sure what this microphone's going to pick up. Yeah. Look, that's what you're the editor. You're of the deal. I hope you're proud of yourself.
Yeah. Oh, it's so
Okay.
good. I felt the rhythm in me.
Look at that. Look at the mess you've made.
This podcast just became Stomp.
Okay.
Sick.
Well,
All right, that's
anyway, this is a little bit of a difficulty because I also, you see, I kept mine a little versatile. He could be,
Okay.
he could be antagonist. He could be protagonist. Might have to go low protagonist since you guys have designed very clear and obvious villains. So his name is Tracy Ironside, and
Is he a relative of Michael?
that's Ironside spelled like dark side. So
amazing.
Iron SEID. So Tracy Ironside. The only backstory I put together for him is that he's kind of entering his middle ages, and his occupation is he is a race car driver.
Okay.
You see, in my mind, I said, all right, whatever animal this is will be hilarious on a racetrack. I'm like, oh, if we designed a hippo, for example, if he's like, oh, the story's about the hippos racing, or I don't know, whatever it is, that's just a funny place to be in. So yeah, he's a race car driver, very competitive, very self-obsessed, and he's like, I'm the best there is. I've been the best there is at whatever I do for all my life. He's like. And so, he got into drag racing in high school, kept up with it. Now he's like, he's an all-star. And, yeah, he could be that kind of, cocky guy that's an antagonist, or he could be the, like, oh, look at me, I'm unfortunately in a situation where I have to deal with this exotic animal. So, that's...
That works. So actually, that works a lot as a protagonist character.
You could be like the dad.
I was trying not to do it again, but I think I have a protagonist magnet.
Protagonist.
It's all right because I always end up making the antagonist. So that's fine.
Yeah. Well, we have a lot of time to revert that and subvert that. So I'm like, I'm going to make a jerky guy, but now he's a jerk with the heart of gold.
Okay.
Well, here's the funny thing. We haven't come up with the animal.
No.
Right, no. I'm glad you brought that up because I did a little research for this podcast.
Ooh.
Oh no!
I went to the zoo earlier this week.
Oh, and you met a bunch of animals.
It rained. I left.
So then I went to the internet,
Yeah.
or AKA the virtual zoo.
No, actually, like I went back later.
All right.
I've got some animals.
Okay. You have some. You have like a kind of a list, a short list of some guys.
Yeah, I've got some ideas.
Sure. What do you have?
Well, okay, keep in mind that we could put a twist on any of these because, like, sometimes the animal's a magic animal, like it's a unicorn or a dragon or
A seahorse.
or a water horse.
A sea cow.
I don't think there's a
Thunder horse?
I don't know Thunder horse. There might be a sea cow one actually. Like I raised a manatee, but I don't think there's a seahorse one. That would not be very dramatic.
Like a seahorse, except it's like a seahorse, except it's got horse legs.
Oh, like a hippocampus.
Yeah, like one of those.
You don't know your mythology.
It's like it
Or
sounds
an
like
actual mermaid.
Oh yeah.
yeah, like in that one movie.
But even though they have like a human top, you
Aquamarine.
don't treat them like a human. Like you treat them like just like an
Like
animal.
a fish.
Yeah.
Like you sprinkle some food up top, but it's like human food because they got human mouths.
Yeah. And then your jerky brother like accidentally putting salt with the food, and then he's like, "Oh no, you're dying."
Look at this salt.
That's our second Little Mermaid joke in the past 15 minutes.
So let's come up with this animal then.
Okay.
How about
So we've got some animals. Alligator.
All right,
That's
yeah,
not bad.
That's
All right.
possible. Alligators, they don't have many expressions.
I need
like,
an-
if you,
I think-
it's hard to get
it's
compassion
got to feel
to an
like
alligator.
a part of the family.
It
so
needs
maybe I should stay away
it
from-
needs to be an animal that would be funny to see riding like shotgun in a race car as it's going around the track.
Yeah, just
Okay. Let's see, what else have I got? Giraffe.
giraffe.
That's
I don't know if
better.
there's
That's better. We're
That's
getting
better.
there.
Yeah, we're
The head would go over the thing.
It's just
There's
out.
no way that physically would not work at
Yeah.
all. Like the head
see,
would snap.
we're close. though.
Giraffes mostly work in animated contexts. In real life, it's just, they just get sad and like injured very quickly.
Oh yeah, can you imagine how awful it would be to do a film with a giraffe, like in live action,
No,
where
that
the
would
giraffe
be-
is the main character? Luckily, we don't have to worry about that so much, but that would be. That would be
So what, all
awful.
right, let's. What
All right,
else?
keep rolling.
Maned wolf.
What's the difference between that and a regular wolf that everyone can identify with?
Well, a maned wolf is a kind of. Well, it's not even wolf at all. It's like a sort of dog from South America. It's more like a fox, I guess. It's kind of like a rusty color. It's got a big, ridgy, like a mohawk of black fur almost, and like really long, funny, stilty legs.
Sounds cool, but a little tame. Like a little bit like, oh, you could do with the dog film, which there's been kind of a lot of dog films.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well,
It's-
yeah, but I feel like there's been a lot of like wolf films in this similar vein of like more dangerous exotic
Yeah,
animals.
true. I mean, like wolf is kind of more the direction I'd take it. Just something that you don't want.
Well, it's a wild animal.
Yeah.
You still can't keep it as a pet.
Everything's a wild animal if it's in the wild.
Yeah.
profound.
Like trees.
Yeah,
Rocks?
keep rolling. What else? You have like a fast list, like bam, bam, bam.
Okay, fast list.
Okay.
Let's see. What else did I see at the zoo? Rhinoceros.
Rhinoceros is
Philadelphia Zoo has a great rhino. His name is Tony. My friend got to pet him on her birthday.
wow.
That was fun.
All right.
Did it feel like petting like a leather couch?
It did, actually. Rhinos are actually very intelligent, like dog-level intelligence, I would say.
Huh.
Wow.
Yeah, you'd think they're
Can you play
dumb.
fetch with a rhino?
I really hope so.
Can you
It'd be amazing.
can you stack a bunch of cookies on a rhino's horn and then it like look at them and like not eat them yet?
Aw, let's do this. I like rhino.
No, it's almost it's not bad. I like it. It's the best one we've had so far.
I always picture the Jurassic Park scene with the Triceratops, where they're just laying there.
Oh,
and
yeah.
like-
Oh, it could be sick, and they would have to bring it. That's nice.
all right. What,
But no,
what
there's
else? What
a
else?
colobus monkey. They're
Colobus
like
monkey.
They're like this one kind of monkey that's like it's like got short black fur, and then it's just got these huge like projections of white fur, like on along its sides and on its tail. And also, they don't have well-developed thumbs because it helps them swing better if they don't.
All right.
Huh.
Anything else?
What are some other animals that I saw
Oh, yeah,
at the zoo? Camel. I saw a camel ride.
Camel's not
Camel's
bad.
not bad. Yeah.
They make a lot of funny sounds.
Yeah.
They didn't like the rain. They were like, "What is this? I'm not prepared for this evolutionarily. Take me home."
All right, let's hop on the road.
Yeah.
And then you just camel down the road, becomes like dust trail. You take an exit and it's just sand everywhere.
What do you think about birds?
Birds are. I think if it could be like a big giant like
Like an emu?
Like Marahute.
Emu's
Like-
not bad.
Yeah. They have
Like you
emus
just
at the
got
zoo.
a big fat emu with the long neck, and he's like because they're unpleasant animals. They're like
Yeah, those.
they
I
would
think
pick a fight. They would kill a man or two.
Yeah, I think the radites, the ostriches, emus, cassowaries, like those are all very dangerous animals that I would be like. They're dinosaurs. They're literal dinosaurs.
I can't tell if I'm super glad or just generally surprised that you did not suggest a kangaroo.
I think all the kangaroo films possible have been made. One.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think there are any more kangaroo stories to be told.
There's only one, and that's not even one worth telling.
No.
Okay,
One day,
Well, okay.
You'll
so
see.
based on what
you'll all see.
based on what he said,
yeah. He's saying kind of the shotgun in the race car is what we're going for.
Yeah.
Not like a hippo running down the track.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
That's. I mean, it's funny, but it's too absurd to have any kind of
Wouldn't it be a
emotional background to it.
Well,
Right.
see, here's the thing. In Australia, I've got some friends that are studying abroad in Australia right now. And you know what? You know a wombat?
Yeah.
Wombats are actually bigger than you think they are. They're like maybe like a meter long,
That's pretty big.
And they're like very robust animals. Like if you hit them with a car, the car is totaled, and the wombat just scurries away.
Wow.
I used to blast those in my T16. They're no bigger than 2 meters. I'm sorry.
imagine-
Well, that's funny, but it's like kind of a little too niche, if you ask me.
Well, no. I'm not suggesting wombat. I'm
okay.
saying like with a big animal like a hippo or a rhinoceros, like
It's almost too
you
big.
could probably get away with hitting that with a car, and it would be fine. But imagine like we could throw an
You could
action
throw a
set
hippo
piece.
down the stair and it'd be fine.
Another in-joke to something that no one's seen.
This is what happens in person.
I think rhino is a pretty good idea.
Yeah. But no, like imagine like an action set piece of like the rhino like flips the race car, and it works because the race car's going like so fast, and the rhino just like horns it, and it just like flips over the rhino. That's so that's so cool.
I imagine like the rhino somehow getting out of the car, and it's like no one knows what to say. Like, oh geez, we don't know what to expect here, and then the rhino just like headbutts a car and like launches it.
It's pretty
Oh wait,
good.
can we name the rhino? I think we should stick with rhino. I think that's resonated.
You guys think that's better than ostrich? Like that's
Ostriches don't seem very friendly. They're just kind of they're just kind of.
None of the animals that we're gonna pick are gonna be friendly.
Well, rhinos can be friendly if you raise them.
All right, I think rhino's good. It's just my only question is
this-
it like almost too big to do anything?
This
with?
race car
No.
driver raised this rhino from infancy.
No.
I
I like to think
insist on
it's
that.
his kid, and the race car driver's kind of divided about it. Like,
What?
maybe I shouldn't let my child raise this perissodactyl in my house.
Yeah, that seems about right. The child befriends a rhino that's come like it's like kind of a young rhino. I think we should go young to teen rhino.
Okay.
Like it's not like the biggest thing in the world.
Yeah.
But it's still super duper dangerous.
Get out of my rhino room.
Well, and I think the way I picture this movie playing out, like there has to be that moment where like it gains fame and like wears like a racing helmet, and everyone's like, yeah, Remy
gets,
the
like-
rhino.
No.
And then,
I want to name it Tony after the rhino from the zoo.
Tony the rhino.
That's a good name for a rhino.
All right, that's fine. And then but like I said, like there needs to be a scene where it gets violent, but then that'll be like the controversy scene, like that animal is not meant for this, and that could be like my guy. Like,
It's not.
He
It's
needs
the funny thing.
needs to be taken out.
Yeah.
Oh wait, can you just be like a Schwarzenegger? He needs to be taken out.
Benedict
Rhinos do
is
not belong in
is
little
also
boys'
Austrian.
homes.
That
Yeah.
rhino needs to be taken out.
Rhinos do not
It doesn't
belong in little
belong in
boys.
normal society.
It doesn't belong in North America.
So what I'm thinking, what's coming to mind to me is like in that kind of climax controversy scene, we have like a team up of the two different villains because like you might be able to like. Your reverend, is that like a religious
That
reverend?
rhino is an evil. Sent here by the devil to test our faith.
You have one reason for not liking the rhino, and he has a different one, which both of you
Now
have
look,
the history of
both
the
of us-
rhino.
These
coming in.
rhinos are nothing but trouble.
I'm
He
g-
killed my wife.
I guess
I just sell VHS tapes.
I was doing a Martin Luther King Jr. impression, so it's just MLKJ and
Tried to walk away.
Arnold Schwarzenegger in
But
an
I can't.
impossible rhino movie.
It's my destiny to take out this rhino.
Okay, so we mentioned a
Oh, imagine the one-liners about rhinos. Horns, right?
you have horns, you have hide, you have he's like it's like the scene in Jurassic Park where he's in the dark cave and then he reaches around and he feels rhino and he says hide, and then
I like.
It was-
I like. What if like Reverend Palmer and Benedict Snare they're in a kitchen and the rhino's coming in?
the rhino just breaks in through the. All right, yeah, I feel like I think at some point
Lost a rhino.
around that around that controversy time.
Problem-solving intelligence.
Okay, around that controversy time, it's like you have that bit where E.T. runs away. Oh, the dog runs away.
E.T. is another movie that's like this,
Exactly.
even though it's not an animal.
Same thing.
Yeah.
I just realized it right now.
Basically.
Yeah, but you have that scene where, all right, the rhino disappears. The rhino runs away from the racetrack, and he's now on the loose.
He could be on the racetrack, like he's the mascot.
That could be like
Mascot?
Yeah,
Benedict's,
he's the
Benedict's
mascot of the
hunting
race
him.
car driver guy.
Yeah, that could
Like
be it.
maybe they're sponsored by that one blue rhino
Yeah.
gas tank.
Yeah, okay, it's like, and those sponsors kind of got in with his kid and got really friendly with him, and it's like, hey, here's this rhino, like, he's our rhino,
The
but...
kid has to have like found the rhino. Like it fell off a circus train as a baby, and he like fixed
No,
its leg.
he's
or
right.
something.
There needs to be a child. Like if
Yeah,
there's no
there's
child,
100% a child.
Yeah.
It's not an inspiration.
There
movie.
has to be.
All right,
Maybe there's like a precocious.
It's the race it's the race driver's son or daughter, because that's always how it is.
Do you want to
It's
do a daughter since we've been so male heavy in the past?
That's fine. No, that's fine.
I
I'll
want
make
to
it a daughter.
I want to do a son. I feel like rhinos are too manly an animal.
No. Well, hold on.
Just like aesthetically.
Well, it's like the Frankenstein thing.
Give me a second.
Okay.
First of all, Adam's right. I think there's no reason why it can't be a girl.
Exactly.
And I think it works because the way these movies always tend to pan out is that there's this plot, like there's a good plot that involves an adult, but it's always subverted by the plot that sells more tickets, that's more focused on the child. So it's like, there's this race car driver.
And somehow the child wins even though it doesn't make any sense.
It's like the real plot is there's this race car driver that wants to earn the respect of his daughter and be like a successful racer, but she just happened to find this rhino and raise it as her own and wants the rhino to be like a part of the family.
Yeah.
So he not only has to be a successful racer, but has to somehow find a way of incorporating this rhino into his success. So, and it's like that just screams Disney Channel original movie.
Okay,
you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
I've got
it's
two
all
little,
over
I've
that.
got two little
You have the-
suggestions for this.
Okay, go ahead. I have something to say after that.
One, regardless of gender, and we can go with a female character, I guess, for the lead. That's fine.
Yeah,
that
that's
works.
Well, it's not
Rhinos are
necessarily-
like unicorns, but uglier.
Yeah. That's great. Yeah,
But no, I want to give her like a circle of friends, like maybe like 2 or 3 friends, and one of them's got to be like a crush.
Well, I don't know. That's kind of going down. I'm not sure if you want to make her the full lead.
I
think you
picture her
just
being
wanna...
a little younger.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
Like, it's mostly
the kids
about
are
the
a little
dad.
younger.
Yeah, it's mostly the dad and
Well,
his
if it's
kid.
a kids movie, we want to put in like a group of kids, because if we just
You don't need. It's a family movie, not a kids movie.
Okay.
These movies, it's not always about like
Dolphin Tale.
Like,
I guess I don't
like
wanna-
you can have she can have friends that show up just for the validation of.
But they're like secondary characters.
Right. But like I think the film, like if you're gonna say that there's a main character, I think it would be the dad.
Yeah, the race car driver.
But
Tracy
but
Ironside.
his character only matters through the context of his daughter.
Right.
That's what makes it like a Disney Channel original.
Yeah.
Like because that's always how it is.
Uh-huh.
Where it's like the kid isn't necessarily an interesting character, but they're what's most important because
They're the
everything.
touchstone for the kids.
Yeah, everything
they
revolves
relate
around
things back to.
Yeah.
I just had this scene in my head where it's like, okay, it's like the kid's trying to hide the rhino from her dad at first, and it's like, oh, I'm dressing her him up like a princess, and he's got like a wig on with or like a one
Like
of those,
E.T..
yeah, like same idea.
You and your friends playing princess again. There's like a horn.
Yeah, we're coming up.
No,
Yeah.
you put a little princess hat on the horn.
It's like, oh, you keep making all these drawings of like unicorns. Like that's so cool of you. It's like, well, your unicorns are always so fat.
Well, actually, rhino horns kind of grow over time. Like they're not born with it.
Still, but it's
That'd
like
be painful.
It's kind of poor drawings. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, it's like, oh, the horn, the rhino.
But also,
There's
secondary
a lot of ripe material there.
Right. Secondary thing. I want Benedict Snare to be a race car driver. In some respect, or maybe he's just taken up the sports.
He could be
like,
an enthusiast, one of those like kind of guys with all the money. He does all the bets.
Yeah.
Like he's kind of shady in that aspect.
Tracy
Like
Ironside.
a bookie?
Right.
Wait,
Tracy
wait,
Ironside's
wait.
He's like disrespecting Tracy Ironside, like he's egging him on, and then
Hold
he's like,
on.
"You and me in the racetrack, let's
So-
do it."
so
and then
he-
like it's like, "I'll bet you one rhino," and then it's like that's
Hold
the
on.
stakes.
So he went
Hang
from
on.
poaching, which is a dirty business, to he tried to go legit and go into video rental,
Right.
which it totally dived. And then he went, and then he decides to use his knowledge of animals to go into like horse racing bookie,
Okay.
and.
Okay.
That doesn't go super well either. So then he
keeps
catches
poaching the horses.
he catches wind of how this race car driver is using this rhino for publicity, and he kind of like jumps over to that,
Yeah.
and kind of just follows it behind the
Now-
scenes, and then he kind of like sneaks his way into being antagonist in like the second act.
Yeah.
You know,
Actually, what I was saying was I kind of messed up the characters. I was thinking for Reverend Noah. Reverend Palmer, I guess, he could be the one that's kind of doing bets on like the races, and like
Okay.
that's kind of his involvement in this. That's what makes him the shady kind of guy.
He's a really devilish character.
yeah,
ironically,
he is. That's the every time you have a reverend, it's like, oh, he's the bad guy because that's the fun thing to do. That's a role reversal.
Yeah, but in this case, it's just kind of like playing on an archetype,
Yeah, but
which is, I guess, what it always is.
everything's an archetype unless it's a super archetype.
deep.
Sometimes I start sentences.
All right. Well, you know what? I think we have a decent setup for the movie.
Yeah,
So
I think it's rolling pretty well.
let's talk about like where's it gonna go? Like what's
Okay.
Okay, fade in on.
Well, I think doing the scene by scene is we had much better luck on our second episode when we just kind of we went through for overall plot points, and if we had a scene to go, we did it.
Plot points.
Yeah, plot points. Like, yeah. So, for example, we have kind of a good idea of the first act. It's like, all right, this race car driver, and he's got his daughter has this rhino. Do you want? We should name the daughter. Victor, give me a letter. Andrew, you make the name off the letter.
Okay.
S.
Stacy. Wait, no, that's too close to Tracy. We can't do that.
Oh yes, Tracy and his daughter say Stacy.
Tracy and Stacy. Okay, another letter. Start over.
M.
Marge.
Marjorie.
Okay.
Okay.
Marjorie is a little too fancy.
How about Meredith?
No.
It has
Mallory.
I like Marge.
It should have like a very short nickname, like a little fun nickname.
Marjorie.
Mel.
Like Melinda.
Okay.
Melinda?
Or Melissa.
Mel.
Melissa's good.
Melissa. Okay.
Melissa.
Her name's
Mel.
His daughter Melissa, who he calls Mel.
Yeah.
All right.
This could almost be like an Australian movie.
Almost, yeah.
Like that seems like
If there's an Australian equivalent of NASCAR,
NASCAR.
they have enough room for it.
Oh, that's just Peter Griffin.
NASCAR.
Yeah.
I don't know how Australia talks.
Okay, so we've got this race car driver. He has his daughter. His daughter, has this rhino. What's their background exactly? Do we? We need to specify it. All right.
Dead mom, divorced mom, mom present.
Well, okay.
Divorce
There
mom.
needs to be
Divorce mom.
there needs to be some kind of sad background with the other parent. Because these kind of movies, there can't be two parents. Like,
Yeah, there's never two happy parents.
No,
There's
like
not enough room.
There's never even one happy parent.
there
It's
needs
like
there
an
needs to
unfortunate
be there needs to be
grumbly.
some kind of terrible story. So like, I mean, we could do divorced, but I'm thinking like she died
well-
and she. Well, here's the thing.
Divorced
She-
and then she died.
Hold on. I'm thinking she was some kind of like animal biologist that died in the field,
Okay.
or something.
Well,
You know what I mean?
if we do
Like,
that, we need to change some
died
backgrounds.
of like some kind of African
'Cause
malaria or something.
We can't have three different important family members die because of rhino, or
She
die
didn't
because of
no,
animals.
She didn't die
No.
because of a rhino.
Okay.
No. She just died because, like, well, I mean, there's a lot of like diseases and stuff that you're exposed to in the wilderness.
All right,
Oh,
yeah, no,
yeah,
she
I
could
was-
die of some. I like all right, I'm fine with that. Animal biologist or
Yeah.
something like that died
Yeah.
in the field.
So, well, because that's why his daughter is so interested in
animals.
Maybe if like
Yeah.
some
Oh,
kind
okay.
of maybe sleeping sickness or malaria or something.
That's what I said. Yeah, some kind of malaria. Yeah.
All right, that's
well,
cool.
anyway, I wanted to change Reverend Noah Palmer's thing.
Yeah.
What if
instead of his dad being killed?
maybe instead of his dad being killed, what if he's also motivated by Laura's death? Like they're from the same town, maybe they know each other.
It's not bad.
And maybe like
Well, I'm thinking
if he's a Protestant minister,
I'm
then he
think-
can marry and romantic prospects
think
are
he-
available to him.
I think he'd sooner hop onto that bandwagon when you're like, oh, my wife died. He's like, oh, his wife died.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's more like
His
that.
wife died to a well, no, because he's got to have a motivation for hating
these
rhinos, 'cause
animals
that's
are
not a normal
agents
thing
of the
to do.
devil.
Yeah,
They even got the
just
horns.
Be it. It could just be he's betting against the Tracy, so he doesn't like.
Oh, okay.
He just doesn't like Tracy to begin with.
Maybe he doesn't like race cars.
He's a race car racist.
He's just got
A race carist.
race car racist.
Okay, yeah, that works.
You got a one-track mind, judging cars by the color of the car skin. I don't know.
All right. So, that's not bad.
So yeah, no, all right. He's got that kind of background with it
That's enough beer.
that matters. So yeah, all right. I like that. He's kind of betting. And when does Benedict come into the story? I think that's the important part.
I think his thing is like I think we need to see him. I see him being a very complex character. Like he's,
I can tell by the 4 backstories you gave him.
it's me.
I was a hunter,
runs a-
VHR salesman,
He runs a blockbuster and he
horse
also, like-
racer, car driver.
It's me. Okay.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
But
I'm gonna call it out.
right what you
I
know.
picture like the movie starting, and eventually, like as soon as the whole rhino thing becomes public, he notices, but then it's just like shrugs it off, like
Yeah,
you know,
I was like, I don't
whatever.
want it to.
I don't want anything to do with that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then it isn't until the priest guy, because I imagine him being a much more prominent, like
Yeah,
loud character,
Uh-huh.
and
He comes
he
up-
goes to him and is like, I need your help, and you're going to help me like take care of this. And he'll even be like, no, man, I don't want anything to do with this.
I don't want anything to do with this. Man.
I'm out of this. And he'll be like a reluctant antagonist, supporter, and then he'll have that moment at the end where it's like the antagonist has been defeated and all that's left is this like dangerous guy.
Yeah.
But then he has that existential moment where he's like, you know what? He's like, I'm only doing this.
So you're making him anti-hero.
Kind of,
where
yeah,
you go.
kind of.
I think that's the way to go with this.
Yeah, because like I feel like my guy would be like he's not the main plot.
Sandman in Spider-Man 3.
Kind of.
Yeah, he's antagonist for a while, but by the end,
I hate that.
Yeah, no, it's terrible.
Terrible. But I get what you're saying.
There were some good moments, like when the Sandman's first.
You didn't see it.
I did see it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Most of what I do is lying about movies I haven't seen.
Hitler had good ideas too,
Yeah, he stopped smoking, but he also killed like 6 million Jews and 5 million other people.
So Spider-Man 3 isn't without its flaws.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying it's a good movie. I'm saying it's got its moments.
Yeah, no, I'm saying that archetype.
Like when the Sandman first transformed and he's reaching for his locket and like he keeps turning into sand. That's sad. That's sad. I like that part.
Adam gets what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Where my guy isn't really an important character, but his functionality is important because he's sort of anti-hero-esque, where he's doing bad things, and throughout the movie he's like this, kind of ambiguous bad character, and then at the end it kind of comes full circle where it's like he kind of realizes like, well, I don't think I'm doing this for the right reason, and it kind of puts the whole movie in perspective. Yeah. So my guy isn't really the most important guy, but his character arc is important because it models the moral of the film.
Yeah, no, I think that's really good.
Yeah.
So I was just thinking on how to first get the rhinoceros in the race car.
Yeah.
And it's just some scenario of him. Maybe he's going home, picking his daughter up, and she's got this rhino, and like this is the point where he's like,
what are you doing?
He's accepted this. He's like, all right, she has a rhino now, big deal. And he's like, I don't like it, but whatever. And he's like, all right, get in the car. I'm taking you home. He's like, no, I'm not going to the car without Tony. And he goes, okay, fine, whatever. And the press catches a hold of it, and it's like, Tracy and the rhino.
How large? Wait, he has to get pulled over.
Yeah,
there needs to be like something
like that, some kind of publicity thing.
Sir, do you have a rhinoceros in your car?
Is there a problem, officer?
Is there a law? Is there a law against having a rhinoceros in my car, officer? Because I wasn't aware of that law. And there'd be like a whole like comical scene.
There's no rule that says a rhino can't drive a race car.
Yeah. And then like that
front page news.
Yeah, news
and his sponsors like love it. They're like, this is great. He's like, your ratings are through the roof.
They get the blue rhino sticker on the hood of the car.
Yeah, and they're like, the rhino needs to be...
We want to hear more about the rhino.
Yeah, and they're like, the rhino needs to be in your car for the next race.
Yeah, he's like, you need to bring him in. Yeah, there we go.
There's so many laws against doing that. That is absolutely abuse of an endangered species.
We're blowing right through it.
That's entirely impossible.
Right
yeah, but no, because this is how these movies work. Like, we'll bring those
the
laws
racing
up.
rhino.
Like, you can't do this and be like, yeah, but this is inspiring children.
Make up some law from 1870 that provides like a loophole. Like, well, actually, William Alpha Graham Carr.
None of this is endangering the rhino.
Yeah, the rhino is perfectly safe. In a race car that can flip and catch on fire.
He's talking to his daughter. He's like, honey, racing is dangerous for people. Rhinos are really strong. They have the hides that can take the like, whatever.
Kids
the rhino's just like...
How does the rhino fit
I need to change my voice in some way. Isn't that right, Tony?
I have no idea what rhinos sound like.
I'm pretty sure it's like just that.
I don't know if they vocalize that much.
It's like if you took the screaming,
if you took 15 minutes of this podcast,
if you took the screaming goats and you just made it just so like deeper, yeah, deeper.
Wait, Victor, do that scream again. I'll pitch it down in editing. Okay, that's
oh wow, look at that.
39,250, 3925.0. Got it.
Okay, got it.
Write that down.
All right.
No,
so.
this is great.
No, this is going pretty well.
So we got.
All right, so why is the Reverend like opposed to begin with? Like, well, what's his anti against this?
I think
besides him being against Tracy as just a racer.
It's a rhino.
It's a rhino.
It's really not a safe
is
thing
that his real thing? Is that
it's
like,
not?
Rhinos are the devil, so I don't like rhinos.
It's not a safe thing to have in the neighborhood, but he wants to go with like a religious angle against it, where it's like, Keeping that rhino is a sin, and I
Yeah,
won't
no,
allow it in
he's
my
trying to
town
spin it
that I
this way.
inexplicably run.
Maybe what if they're neighbors? And he's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
that could be like,
What if like
his
the rhino
angle
like
on saying
breaks
it.
down his fence? Like
Yeah.
he's the grumpy neighbor.
Yeah, he's the grumpy neighbor who also happens to be a
The
reverend.
rhino,
The rhino, like,
the
breaks
rhino,
down his
like, yeah,
It
like,
tramples his like prize-winning begonias or some
Yeah.
some.
I was gonna say prize-winning
like busted a
petunias.
hole.
Like,
he has,
I
like,
had the
he has
exact
like
same
a
idea.
cat, and it like busted in like the little kitty door, and then
He eats the cat.
He's like, you can't just have a rhino. He's like, because of this rule of the
picture-
state, I'm allowed to have exotic pet. Like, I have an exotic pets license.
I picture
so-
the Reverend being.
All race car drivers technically have an exotic pets license
Well,
somehow.
I picture that Reverend being that character that like keeps having these comedic, unfortunate scenes.
Yeah.
Where like
Like
you know,
the-
like he just wants to have like his
like
like the guy
he just
from
wants to enjoy his souffle, but like the rhino somehow messes it up.
yeah,
just by like stomping around and being a rhino,
like the neighbors
wait a
in
minute.
a Christmas vacation.
Yes.
Yeah.
or like the guy from Dennis the Menace. Go.
Okay, so that sounds like a good setup for the Reverend character. And Benedict, he's getting wind of this, you know. He's like, all right, you know, maybe he did some amateur racing at some points.
Mm-hmm.
And the Reverend he like kind of commissions him to be a racer against them, or
Yeah, it's not bad.
I'm
I
trying.
gave up horse racing a long time ago, Reverend. Have you tried car racing?
I don't know. I'm trying to. I want to don't want to attack another hobby because he's so fleshed out.
Well, there needs to be, like I said, there's always like that diversity thing where it's like the dad is racing and like needs to like make more money to support the kid.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like
That's what encourages
that
him
could-
to.
that could be
that's
what's-
why he likes what the sponsors like.
yeah,
about
yeah.
him
That
and
could
the
be what
Rhino.
starts it is like, you know, oh well, you know, we need you to do this, and you know, and that's what ends up being like the driving motivation in the movie is like, you know, the publicity and they, you know, the rhino gets
Yep.
people, but
And
like
now the
his-
Reverend,
but like the Reverend
he's
is
preaching against it, like now, and Benedict is like, you know, he's in the background character for this. He's watching. He's like, I don't care at first, and he's like, I'm trying to get past that rhino. I'm trying to get past the rhino in my life.
Oh, hey, wait.
like
this
the
is
elephant in the room.
Yeah, the rhino in my heart.
Wait. I just remembered something. There are several different kinds.
I killed my wife in my heart.
Okay, so there's several different kinds of rhino.
Yeah, okay.
I think we should. Now's a good time to look up. Like, we should look up different.
We're not looking up anything. It's
Okay.
it's the least endangered.
Okay, so probably
These
a white,
movies are never really that educational.
a white rhino then,
White rhino.
like
Yep.
the one at the zoo.
Oh, great.
There's two kinds of African rhinos with two horns. There's the black rhino, which is more aggressive and a browser. There's the white rhino, which is a grazer and less aggressive and less endangered.
Okay.
Black rhino is more of a trophy.
So I think we're pretty far through this. Like we're like kind of at
we've
that
got
heart
most-
of the story.
Yeah, we've got most of
Or
the movie.
I'd say that the climax is that we mentioned
But I
the
think-
controversy happens.
I think there needs to be a super badass moment at the end where the rhino's full grown now. But like the dad is like, we need to get the rhino out of here. It's too dangerous. As an adult, it's just there's just too many things that could go wrong.
This is also
But
when he's
then,
run
like-
away by now.
Right, right.
Like,
So
we gotta find him as well.
he's in this
Oh, yeah.
he's in this race and there's like a lot at stake and he really needs to win, and the rhino somehow like makes his way on track and he's about to lose, but the rhino just takes out one of the cars and
no,
makes it so that the guy
Snare's car. Benedict Snare's car.
yeah,
He's
just
about to win.
takes him out, you know, and then he wins.
Maybe
and then that's
maybe if he loses the race, he loses his sponsorship. Like that's part of like the deal.
something.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Then I lose the money. Like we can't explore.
PETA's on us about this rhino nonsense. You need
The
to
rhi-
win this race.
No. The
Scholarship.
rhino needs to like totally mess up this, like totally win this. You know what I mean? Like it's a really like
The
'cause
rhino has to win the race.
Well, because they loved it and took good care of it, so it's this super strong, like healthy rhino. You know,
And we
like
gave it lots of steroids.
yeah. So when it like goes onto the track and like headbutts this car, it like messes it up,
Yeah.
and then it's okay. Like it survives.
I was gonna say maybe it's he gets into a crash and he wins, but then it's like maybe they capture the rhino and they have that like moment of we got to put this rhino down. It's like a danger.
Yeah.
And it's like he's only doing what we taught him to do, which is
I had an idea
Which is
earlier.
to be badass.
yeah.
I had an idea earlier on, maybe like the final scene of the movie. It'll be like on the racetrack. It's like, yeah, we won, and then like some like John Hammondy sort of guy will come in. We can even do the bit from Jurassic Park where he comes in the helicopter and starts messing everything up. He lands, and he's like, "Hey, I was the scientist in charge of the expedition that your wife died on. Sorry."
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it's like,
I can
"Hey, look,
take-
we're setting up a preserve in Africa, and we need to take
That's
this
it.
And we need to take this rhino there because
I gotta take this rhino home. You can't take the rhino home.
Yeah.
He's
it's
our
like,
friend. He's
and
part
it's
of our
like,
family.
We love him.
And then it's like, Mel, this is, like, the dad's like, Mel, this is a rhinoceros. There's no way you can keep this.
No,
he's too
I would say-
old. He's too big and dangerous.
And wait,
Well, 'cause, like,
the
that's the
preserve
thing.
is named after the wife.
Okay, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, do that. Throw that in.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
But what were you saying?
And then, like, the
No, I
rhino will
was
be
saying, like,
wandering
because
into the
that's
sunset,
a
and
thing
that's
where
the
it's
final
like
shot.
the rhino gets older, and the dad has to say, like, look, this isn't like a cute thing anymore. Like,
Mm-hmm.
this is a full grown adult rhinoceros. This is dangerous. It just
Yeah.
took out a car.
Yeah.
Okay,
No,
Which was
we're in that-
awesome, by the way.
It's
We're
like,
in that
it was awesome, but
Yeah.
like, no, you like we need like
We're in that controversy stage where it's like, all right, look, the rhino,
Yeah, yeah.
he calls us problems. They're like, they're either going to kill him or it's like there's no other option.
He
And they're
nailed-
like, wait,
well-
here's the option. The guy comes and he's like, you could take him to an African preserve.
When he nailed it, though, it needs to be named after the mom.
Yeah,
Like,
that's true. That's, right.
perfect.
Yeah.
You know.
And then they have that parting moments with the rhino.
yeah, and then the rhino goes
And the Reverend, he gets all, like his ending, he gets huffy. He's like,
Yeah, yeah.
oh man, I'm too bad that,
no,
that
that
rhino's not
rhino
dying.
needs to be put down.
No,
in
the
the name
police
of
have to
God.
arrest him.
The police have to arrest
You're
the
under
Reverend
arrest for
somehow.
being a grumpy neighbor.
But-
No, he has to do something messed up.
yeah, like he
cut
bet,
his
he
brakes
bet
or
illegally
something.
or do something like
No, he
kind of-
needs to do something to endanger the dad's life.
Oh yeah, he cut his
yeah.
brake.
Well, yeah, like cut his brakes or something.
did just something that menacing in that way.
And then
Yeah.
Benedict
Basically.
Snare's being taken away in an ambulance because, like, his
Yeah.
car got attacked by a
Oh, yeah, well, no,
His
like I said,
closure-
my guy is kind of like neutral, where
Uh-huh.
it's like he's employed by the bad guy.
Yeah.
But then he kind of has this
His
existential
closure
moment.
is that he forgives the rhino.
Yeah, where he's like, you know what? I'm in this for the wrong reasons, you know, and kind of
Yeah.
just like folds,
Nameless.
you know, just folds and leaves, you know, and
that-
then that's it.
Man,
yeah.
that's everyone's ending, and the father's now closer with his kid, Tracy, and Mel. They're together.
This is
I
so-
think
this is so amazing. I can't
I
believe
think
we came up with this.
Yeah, man, I think we're in the naming stage. Like I
Yeah.
think we got everything that we needed.
Oh,
All right,
man.
so this is the part where Victor steals the show.
Oh,
And-
jeez.
All right,
Yeah, Victor, pressure's on. Me and Adam aren't even going to say anything.
no, okay, we have racing and we have rhinos. Remember Racing Stripes? That was the zebra that was a racer.
Uh-huh.
Let's see, NASCAR Rhino,
Mascarino.
NASCARino.
Horns.
It
Some kind of pun
if
with
you ask
horns?
me, it would be the name that the media comes up with for this rhino.
Oh, okay.
There'd be like, I was saying earlier, it's like, oh, it's the racing rhino. Like it's like the headline. that
Terrible
they have going.
Tony. 2-ton Tony.
Is the rhino's name Tony?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's his
after
name.
the rhino from the zoo.
Yeah, so it could be
2-ton Tony is a good media nickname. I don't know if it's a movie.
The Trouble with Tony.
Yeah.
and yeah, and on the cover you see the rhino. It's like, oh, Tony's the rhino. That's not bad. Trouble with Harry. That's a famous Hitchcock film.
But that's about a person, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Harry's dead, and they have to deal with his body.
Oh.
It's a comedy about a corpse.
Whoa. How interesting.
Yeah. Okay.
I turned into an elf.
The Trouble with Tony. That's not bad. I'm enjoying that.
I'm back.
Racing. Well, we have racing. Shift into Rhino, or it's like there's some Rhino gear, or
Yeah, Adam,
So-
we missed a vital component of this. We have to talk about the title for like 10 minutes.
yeah. That's what that's what I'm
and then
doing.
Adam
I'm
just-
trying to get everything out of the way.
just
Then Victor,
swoops in. He's got a very furtive look on his face.
it's the pressure. He'll crack under pressure. It's not going to work.
He'll crack under pressure like a begonia under a rhinoceros foot.
Oh, that rhino was sent from Satan to crush my award-winning flowers.
My beautiful begonias.
Oh, my picket fence. I'll teach you, Rhino. Wait, no, you don't understand. I'm a reverend.
I'm a real boy in a rhino costume. That would be a twist that I would not go for.
All right, you gonna throw in anything? Any what's going on in your
Wait,
head
wait.
right now?
The sequel, he's
thinking-
got to have a baby.
I'm thinking that
Same.
the word wild needs to be in it.
Okay,
You know, like
yeah, something like a wild ignition.
like
That doesn't make sense.
Born to be rhino.
I wish I knew more NASCAR terms. It's got to be one of those. Like
I want in like the sequel, like Tony finds a mate and a baby. He doesn't find a baby. He has the baby with the mate, and the
Yeah.
kid watches.
Okay, so yeah, if I knew more about racing. All right, what do I know? I saw Cars.
Track.
Cars, what
Track.
Track.
Racetrack.
Track.
Pit
Wild
crew.
Track.
Pit crew.
Ooh, Pit. The,
Actually, I like the idea of it being something a lot more ambiguous than that, like Untamed.
just
No.
Untamed.
Yeah, well, because like
No, see,
I know that's stupid.
The
but
Rhino
these
is tame.
these
I
these
think-
movies like to use.
They do have dumb titles.
Well, they like to use the idea of this exotic animal as like a metaphor for the idea of breaking free from social
Yeah.
constructs.
That makes
and being
sense.
like, well, this is,
I
why,
do-
why not have a rhino as a pet?
Since it's so focal to the story, I think that the racing part should be a part of the title.
And the
Like, I
rhino
think
is
Well,
tame.
you're right,
is the
or
problem with
like,
that.
like I said, like the wild or
off the tracks.
yeah, or something that has to do with racing, or like,
Let's see, Crash and Rhino.
Mel and Tony.
Melatonin. It's not bad.
Kind of close to melatonin, but whatever.
We're almost there. We're so close. This is the brink where
Racing.
something just puts us over.
Racing.
The Trouble with Tony. I like that, but that's and this isn't like the previous. Actually, well, the title is not the most important part of this movie. I think the most important part was getting the right animal in the right circumstance, which we nailed. So props to us.
Rhino and race car track.
The racing rhino. It could honestly be that. Like that would sell just
Racing
fine.
rhino is not. Well, the rhino doesn't race.
No, but it's in a race car, so like
Yeah.
that's what the news media would say. Like, oh, hey, it's the Rocketeer, it's the racing rhino.
The rocket and rhino.
Yeah, the Rocket Rhino, the top speed.
what did we say happens at the end?
He goes. They take him to the preserve, and Mel breaks up
The
with
preserve.
Tony. In the sense that she's like, yes, say goodbye. There's that one shot in the sunset where she puts her hand on the horn, and he says, and then you see him flying away on the helicopter and goes.
We could say something, like Back to the Wild, or the
Out of the jungle.
We got fun and games.
You're not contributing enough.
We got anything you want, honey. We know that.
That's a good name. Yeah, how do you spell that?
we can call it like like wild or like like Wild Instinct or something like that, or
Wild
like
Instinct.
or like
Instinct? Maybe not even wild.
Heart of the Wild.
Heart of the Wild.
I know.
It's
Look,
too
these
vague.
movies always have corny, like
I mean, that's true.
by the numbers.
What was the
titles.
dolphin one called?
Dolphin tail.
Dolphin tail.
But that's a pun.
Because the
We
dolphin
bought a
had no
zoo.
tail.
Okay, we bought a zoo. If you map that out into a Joseph Campbell hero's journey, every stage would be like, we bought a zoo.
Yeah, right.
What's the belly of the whale moment? Someone says, we bought a zoo.
Belly of the rhino. Heart of the.
Meeting with the goddess. We
Wait,
bought a
Heart
zoo.
of the Wild.
Something like that.
Crossing the threshold.
I think-
we bought a zoo.
I think we should try a few more racing ones, and then if not, we'll settle for something
Let's
like that.
see.
Something that makes most sense. Yeah, a wing, a rhino. Horns. We haven't done anything with horns yet.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Okay, horns.
Straight up the
car
exhaust
horn.
I like the idea of including like Stampede or something.
Ooh,
Oh,
that's pretty
okay,
good.
that's it. That's the corny title that could work.
Urban Stampede.
Daytona Stampede. Something like that.
That's pretty good. Daytona Stampede. I kind of like that.
It's actually not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now that look on my face was at the he nailed it moment.
Oh.
The Daytona Stampede.
Victor's 3 for 3.
Well,
Uh,
let's think about it.
We also need a
Does that-
tagline.
Does that
if
title
we
fit?
want,
Daytona Stampede.
what's another Daytona what's that kind of catch name that we want for a racing term like a race? This is the I don't know. It's the World Series of Racing. Why am I asking you? The World Series of Racing.
Daytona 500's like the
The Indianapolis 500.
yeah, Indianapolis.
Indianapolis.
But Daytona's a better...
Daytona. Indianapolis. Way
Need
too many
for
syllables.
Speed. Fast and Furious.
I was thinking fast and something like Furious.
Too fast,
and-
too rhinoceros.
Fast and Horniest.
Fast and Rhinoceros.
Yes.
The Fast and the Rhinoceros. See, that's a little. That's
That's a little
that's
too
a little
crazy.
ridiculous.
It's been a long
It could just be my rhino.
time Without you, my...
Wait, what was it? It was Daytona what? Daytona Stampede.
Yeah, Daytona Stampede. That's not bad.
That's pretty cool.
Stampede. Well, is that too actiony?
It is a little too actiony.
It is, because this is like
Well,
a...
for movies
like a
to
movie.
Yeah,
sell...
I know, but you're talking like Heart would make sense. Daytona's Rhino.
Daytona Wild, or something like that.
Daytona Wild, Daytona...
Daytona...
what's that one? Savannah? That's where
Savannah?
rhinos are?
That is where rhinos live, correct.
Daytona Savannah.
Serengeti...
Serengeti Race?
Rabbit.
That's not bad.
Daytona. We spent too much time on this, really.
We have good options.
No,
Do you
we
cut out any
always-
of the...
I'll
of
cut
us?
out some of it.
All right, yeah, I think there's...
Don't worry, I'll trim it
Once
up.
we get to the point, yeah.
Yeah.
Serengeti.
Horns.
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 A
Not
horn's
just
tail.
We'll get Daniel Radcliffe.
Racing horns.
I'm just gonna say titles, even
I
if
think-
they're stupid, and
Yeah,
you'll be
that's
like
fine.
yes or no. Okay.
I think
There's
that-
no bad
I like,
ideas in
I like the
brainstorming.
idea of,
Hornball.
of it just being like, like Daytona Wild.
Daytona Wild? I think that works just fine.
Because it's just like...
It's like, what do we call it? There's that one film...
No, it's too friendly. It's too like
Daytona
about,
Wild,
like,
it's
supposed
pretty
to be
oh,
friendly.
hey Tony, here's some grass. Here's some rhino milk. I
It
don't
also-
care. Oh, hey, look, you can't call that movie wild. It's not wild. It's family friendly. I'm angry.
It also
I'm
doesn't...
mad as heck, and I'm not gonna take it anymore.
It also doesn't have to be relevant,
Andrew, go
like
to sleep.
like what was it, War Horse?
Yeah.
It's like there's no war. There's just a horse.
I'm gonna go to sleep.
So Daytona Wild makes perfect sense. All right, Daytona Wild is our film.
Yay!
Yay! Andrew, how much does a rhino weigh?
Andrew, how much does Rhino weigh?
I'm asleep.
Andrew, just how much rhino?
Come on, we're almost done, man.
Is it
I
2
don't know.
tons? 2 tons, right?
1 to 2 tons.
Okay, we'll call it Daytona Wild.
I don't know.
2 tons, 150 miles an hour, or however you want to.
Oh yeah, like
two,
perissodactyl, 2 tons, kind of ungulates than every 2 tons, 200 miles per hour.
One family. All right, well, there we go. That's our inspirational animal film about Tony the Rhino, Tracy Ironside, and his daughter Mel,
I was on the floor.
the irreverent Reverend, and Benedict, the very complicated anti-hero.
Because I came up with him, so he has to be complicated.
All right, well, we had a lot of fun here. Actually, Victor,
He
I
runs a
believe...
video rental store, and he used to be a hunter, and he got some chemicals on him into the Speed Force, and his parents were shot. And
All right, Victor, I believe the topic is back to you for next one. You
Oh.
had something in mind, right?
Do we want to go with my idea?
Yeah. Let's. Why don't you tell the folks?
Okay. So
I haven't heard this.
our next topic, my idea is now. Unfortunately, we're gonna have to sort of break pattern a little bit because I know that we haven't really focused on actual actors, but we have to for this
Right,
one.
yeah, this one.
And
I
here's
got it.
why.
I remember.
My idea is we are gonna do a movie that takes place 20 years from now. So this is in the year 2035-ish.
Sure.
And it's one of those movies that's a bunch of old washed up actors that are all coming together for some kind of like last hurrah
Yeah,
film.
like Red or Red 2.
Red,
Expendables.
or like the
Expendables, yeah,
Expendables,
that's a big one.
or that one where they all go to Vegas, or like
Yeah.
you know what I mean,
Those.
like one of those films where the plot involves a bunch of old people like doing something cool because it's these actors being like, I want to do something cool before I
I need
retire.
a little bit more money before I go.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
So that's our genre.
We each come up with a character, an actor now who in 20 years will be like
it
an
has
old,
to be an
old
actor
guy.
that's like a contemporary actor, like
Yeah.
someone that's not washed up yet, but it needs to be 20
That will
years
be
from
washed
now.
up in 20
yeah,
years.
so like
All
they
right, cool.
will be,
Very cool.
and that'll be it. So that's
All
our
right.
that's our next topic.
And in other news, we have a new URL for you to find our website at.
Yay!
Yeah, that's tinyurl.com/genrebot.
That was so much easier.
Yeah,
Much-
than
much
whatever
better.
I said last time. Google dabba-diboo. Yeah.
That's
so
what happens when you make a website for free.
yep, you can find us at so you can find us at tinyurl.com/genrebot. Who knows about what the future holds? It might hold a rhinoceros for you and your daughter
In your heart.
in your heart of the wild.
A Daytona.
500
Where is Daytona?
rhinoceroses.
All right, well,
All right,
thanks for listening, guys.
Until next time.
Music by Kevin MacLeod at Incompetech.com. There, now I don't have to say anything in the outro.
Awesome.
See you later, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Woo!